Yo,
It's your boy,
Clash, it's your
boy Clash.
Rid,
Doing games from
LA.
Rams.
It's David
Edwards left.
Guard.
Watch
The video
and leave
a
up.
like.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Guys, we're
Bye.
Now, I wanted to talk about the offensive line because it has been fantastic since, let's say, after the 49ers game. We were basically calling it a season if the Rams weren't going to make any moves, any adjustments, and they did. Joseph Nobu got hurt. David Edwards comes in, and he actually does a fantastic job the last 2 weeks. Granted, you're looking at also at the opponent, but you know what? The Falcons have a pretty decent defensive line, and so do the Bengals. So I was thinking if he can't play good against these two teams, then there is no hope. And he actually played the best at the left guard or right guard in the whole year. And it's a debut game against the Falcons. He had like a 60 or 69 rating by Pro Football Focus, which is actually pretty decent to average. So he did a really good job there. I think he did even better against the Bengals because the Rams were able to protect Goff for seconds, and they created enough holes inside the interior of the offensive line to get Darrell Henderson going. But one thing about David Edwards is he's a right tackle, man. This guy he's out of Wisconsin, so you know he's going to be decent. You know he's going to be pretty good, but putting a right tackle now at the left guard position, I was a little bit hesitant because you guys already know me. I enjoy seeing Bobby Evans. I like that guy as a left guard / left tackle type of player. And they decided to go with David Edwards, so I was a little bit hesitant. But he actually has been playing very well the last 2 weeks against pretty decent defensive lines. Like, I know the team overall sucks, but their defensive lines are still pretty good. And he actually did a fairly good job of protecting Goff inside the pocket. Now, one thing is I'll actually like how him and Andrew Whitworth communicate. They were able to work together to block and, pick up blitzes in split seconds. So he did a really good job right there. And I don't know, but maybe if David Edwards does plan out for the future at the tackle position, hopefully they could move Andrew Whitworth at the left guard position. Because Andrew, he's getting older, but he's still strong. He's still a big dude. And he can actually, to me, would be a perfect candidate for a left guard position. It's basically the left tackle, but you don't really have to deal with the fast guys on the edge. You got to, deal with the power dudes. And that's what he has. So I wouldn't mind, maybe if David Edwards does plan out, put him at the left tackle position and then just switch spots with Andrew Whitworth and see how Andrew does at the left guard. Because one thing about Andrew, he said he's not going to retire until it feels like he's ready. Even though if the Rams would have won the Super Bowl last year, Andrew Whitworth still would have played. And that was his words through a press conference. So if that's the case, as long as his body lets him, I think he'll actually play left guard if they choose to put him there. Because to play left guard, you got to basically have to do two things well. Able to pass protect inside the pocket and able to move bodies inside the pocket. So that's one thing we know that Andrew Whitworth can do. But, and I say but, I think if it does plan out, David Edwards has done a great job at the left guard position. I think he can be a perfect candidate. So when Rob Havenstein ends up leaving in a few years, or Andrew Whitworth does retire, I actually like David Edwards. I think he's shown a lot at the left guard position. But remember, you're dealing with stronger defensive tackles rather than, faster, quicker defensive ends. So that's one thing I really enjoyed about watching him is going toe-to-toe and handling himself against really good defensive players. Celebrate a little bit right there because you deserve it. And a really good way to take out about 4 Atlanta defenders right there in that play. And Goff being Michael, Vick 2.0, Jared Vick right there. And then I think this one, they're going to power their way in there. And, you see Whitworth right there helping on, but the guy that took most of the pain was Edwards, which is a really good play. It gives them more momentum to move down the field. Now Edwards holds his block right here, showing strength and being able to go toe-to-toe against a power-based defensive lineman. And now we go to London against some Bengals. Pretty nice game by Robert Woods. And let's see what Edwards does in this one. He gets a little bit outspeed, but he still took out his guy. Pretty decent block, and allows Cooper Kupp to get some much-needed yardage. And Cooper Kupp went crazy in this game. Now no one really to block, assist Andrew Whitworth. A pretty good pocket right there for Goff, man. He had a lot of time to throw, and it really showed. He had a pretty good day against the Bengals. Another clean pocket, and it just shows that when the Rams have a clean pocket, Edwards coming in really improved that O-line. And right there, Edwards helping out. Henderson's always in a break a tackle too, which is pretty freaking dope. He's always in a break a tackle. All right, here we go, one-on-one. Holds his own by himself. Isn't a liability like Joseph Noteboom and Brian Allen were being in the beginning of the year. Night and day, man. Just night and day. I mean, Atlanta, sure, isn't the best team, nor the Bengals. I think with this loss that we gave them in this game, they were 0-8. But their defensive line is still pretty good. And that's why I was thinking, man, why were the Rams the last 2 weeks looked like they were winning comfortably? And that's because they had a nice clean pocket. And then right there, Goff just gives it to Coop. And I actually didn't believe this play even happened when it happened. Like, it was surreal that they actually made a highlight this damn good. Like, really, really good play. But, you know, McVay's got his ways. All right, Edwards helps out right there a little bit with one hand, a one-hander. Assisted blocking with the one-hander, and still looking around to see if there's another guy trying to be sneaky. And this should be the last highlight block. Holds his own. A nice game. All right, you guys, so that's basically the video. I give David Edwards basically a B+ his first 2 games. This is only a small sample size, but I'm pretty sure this guy has played fairly well to consider him a starter and just move forward with him. He's actually, to me, one of the best linemen so far this year in those last 2 games. But remember, Rob Havenstein held his own. Andrew Whitworth held his own. Brian Allen played fairly well. But I have to give it to Edwards coming in. To me, so far, he's the offensive Rams rookie MVP just because of the way he's being able to help the offensive line. It's been pretty terrible. So let me know what you guys think. Until next time, you guys, go Rams. Hope you guys liked the video.